Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. In today's video I'll be showing you the best snow vehicles. It'll be very easy for me to just pick off-road vehicles, but I've only got one on this list, and the rest are kind of just normal cars that I've been trialing and testing for a very long time in the snow. Hopefully you enjoy the video. Here are my favorite cars in the snow. Here we go again. Hella's going on about the Jackal. No matter what the video is for, the most useful, the most unique, whatever condition it is, he always recommends the Jackal. Yeah, that's how it is on this channel. If you don't have the Jackal, I will judge you. Why don't you have a Jackal? It's literally a car that defines physics, is free off the street, it has 4 doors, it has these discrete modifications, it's a nice wide stance vehicle. I'm telling you, I keep saying it all the time. You drive this car and you realize the front end grip of it is so strange, unfathomable, with a bit of extra spit there. This front end sticks so well, in fact, that you turn in corners early, and it's no different when it comes to the snow. Okay, you've got a little less grip, but now it seems like a normal car driving in dry, even though it's in the snow. The front end of this car is so good, the back end can't keep up. That swings out. Honestly, it's offending me now that I'm justifying this car to you. Why don't you have it already if you don't? If you do, you know what I'm talking about. You know why the Jackal's going to have legend status, and we're all going to flip if it doesn't come into GTA 6. Sometimes you just like, forget it, Hella. I just want a car that can get from point A to point B with ease. Hate the snow. I'm about to flip out. Just give me a car that makes it seem like there is no snow there. I've hit more lampposts today than I have in the last 11 months. Just give me a car that goes on snow just like it would on dry tarmac. Well, here's the car for you, the Droger. It has 4 seats, and I'd say quite cheap, 1.4 million. And this thing will act like the snow's not even there. And hands down, the best vehicle to use in the snow. It has everything. This is the alternative to like just typing in a cheat code online. Of course though, it's not armored, so you're not going to get yourself protected. Quite the opposite actually. It has no protection. Unlike the next vehicle. It might be Christmas, but there's no holiday where you won't see that oppressor symbol on the map. It will always be there, and it gets even worse in the snow because those oppressors function the same, but we don't on ground. You'll be driving normally once, and then you'll be in a back garden a few minutes later. And that's where these oppressors take advantage as well. When you spin out, you're very vulnerable. But with a night shark that only costs 1.245 million, I can't even fathom how cheap that is. You should have this vehicle already. It's weird if you don't, but it's actually decent on snow, and it'll protect you as well. In the footage that you see, I was telling Nick over here to try and take me out with the oppressor, because I think it's only 3 misses from his rocket, and then he doesn't have enough ammo to even blow you up. So even if he shoots all his rockets at you and he misses 3, he can no longer like blow you up. He has to call another oppressor again, and then you're pretty much screwed. But hopefully you will get to your destination by then. If there was a car that you were to guess shouldn't be on this list, it should probably be on cars you should avoid for the snow, it would be this, the Baggio ZX. At 1.94 million, it shouldn't be a car I'm recommending again. I think these prices are too high, especially if you don't have the car ready. If you don't have the car, you're probably not into Guaros or American cars in general. I think it's bad enough that you don't have the car, but the point of making that you probably think that I should have this is a high power rear wheel drive HSW vehicle with a lot of torque. It makes 0 sense to have it on the list. But surprisingly, the front end is quite grippy on this car, which I'm not expecting. Like, yeah, be careful with the throttle because it's got a lot of power. But when you do step out because of that power, obviously your front end tucks in a bit, but it's actually manageable, weirdly, to whereas it becomes fun, which I'm now thinking, should I make a video on the fun snow vehicle? Because whilst I was doing the testing and research for this video, there was quite a few. I'm pretty sure when it comes to driving in the snow, you guys will get used to the physics so quickly, and you'll just know what to do. You know to turn in earlier, brake a lot slower. But then this car makes you feel like you have to do all that preservative stuff less. You don't have to brake as much as you do with a normal car. You don't have to turn in earlier as much. The whole drivability of this car is only slightly altered. It still drives well, it still turns unlike most cars, and it's another car that at low speeds is really actually harder to drive than at high speed. 2.47 million though. Definitely not a car I recommend at that price. Like, that is a stupid price. The Comet SR is back on the websites for 1.145 million. Did this video slightly late because last week it was 800k. But if we're talking about stability, this car is stable in the snow. Makes no sense. It's way better than the Comet S2. This is the best Comet, and one of the best cars, really. When you drive this car, the Comet SR still looks good because it still has that GTA nostalgic Comet look, but updated. This is a GTA car, not a real life car that's modeled in GTA. This thing hooks. It hooks like you wouldn't think it should. And it comes with a new missile lock-on jammers as well. It's one of the cars that got added to the lock-on jammer list. Comet SR, you probably already have it. If you do, take it out and you'll see what I'm talking about. It is a good snow vehicle, and it's one that you wouldn't expect. I definitely did not. I tried to think of terms to describe the Comet Safari, but in reality, I only drive it once a year. and that is in the snow. The sole purpose of this car has been driving it in extreme conditions, either off-road or in the snow, and clearly the car is built for that. 710,000 is a reasonable price as well. You won't get those prices nowadays. If you want something from the Comet range and it being a unique vehicle, it's actually still on the market, not that unattainable. Comet Safari should be your choice. It's got an amazing suspension, like you'll see it accelerating, turning, you'll see the suspension lean, and it's really good round corners in the snow. It hardly understeers even at very high speeds, and it's definitely one of those cars that once you drive it for a while and then you get into another car, that thing will feel so dull and understeery, and then you'll keep crashing that next car. The Lurcher, like a car that is just the most difficult to explain, and everything I'm going to say makes no sense, but it makes sense to me, which means nothing really. But this car, at low speeds, just forget about it. Uncontrollable, crazy, like 0 to 30, undrivable. 30 to 70, I would say is terrible. But 70 plus, you can accelerate in corners. You can do things you can't do with other vehicles in the snow. This car defines physics. Again, this one, I don't think you should buy because it's nearly 2 million and there's better cars you can buy. But it has HSW. It is really unique, but a unique electric car. So only if you have this car, you should pull it out. The Zonon. Why is Hella recommending this? I mean, you can still buy it on the market, which is unique and cool. 725,000. That's like less nowadays than modifications on cars. And it's still the big tank it was in 2013. Now you've got so many cars in the game, it's easy to wash it out. But the grip on this thing is unreal. And yeah, it's a car that you should really only get if you're just tired of crashing all the time. I mean, I still did with this car, but it's a lot easier than most cars. The Italo GTO, Hella? Really? With the Italo GTO, a car that normally hops all over the place, you might as well call this front wheel drive, because most of the time you're driving it, the rear wheels are off the ground. But that's normally on dry terrain. I don't know what I'm saying. It's literally on the snow as well. It still jumps. The Italo GTO stick. Weirdly, it sticks. And we don't really think that because it's disastrous in the dry and it still can be in the snow. But like 2 minutes of just learning this car and it darts around. Not many things are catching you. And it's under 2 million as well. I think this car is a good package in general. When the snow's gone, it's still an amazing car. The Firebolt. I've been praising this car since its release. Technically not released fully. We can buy this thing off people in LS Car Meet, and this thing handles everything well. It's the fastest truck in the game, but I always praise the suspension on this thing, how soft, and the dampening is amazing. And it turns out it's also good in the snow too. Who would have knew? Obviously this car is really unique. It ends up being quite expensive. I bought this off my friend for 3.1 million in LS Car Meet because of the modifications it had on it. So it does end up costing a lot when you fully customize it. If you guys don't want to wait for its release or do the missions to get it, the Discord is the first link in the description, and then you can just buy it off someone in LS Car Meet. And if you're on older gen consoles, you can still get it. I don't know how. I'm hoping there's a legit way to do that, but people offer that service in Discord as well. Thank you so much for watching, and let me know in the comment section if you think I should do the most fun vehicles to use in the snow, because I was testing a lot of cars out and there were really fun vehicles on the list that I really couldn't put in because it wasn't the best vehicle to use. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy, and see you guys in the next one.